Okay, today we're going to be talking about courage. And of course, it's today's daily video. I'm always really curious about, what people think. A lot of times we have to go through courage with a lot of things when we face important decisions in our life. Some are life changing. But that courage is what comes from the Lord. We have the courage within us. Courage also is what gives us a backbone to stand up against opposition. Like when we would put, transgender bathrooms or what do you call it? I guess it's called sexual bathrooms, I guess, or bisex bathrooms in the bathrooms. I tell you what, I get real offended if somebody going in there and mess with my little girl or my little boy if they went in there in the room, the opposite sex being in there watching him go to the bathroom. I really wouldn't like that at all. I'm going to tell you, courage is why we got to stand up against things like this. How we let gay become an everyday name in the country and how we just let homo and pedophilia just go crazy. And, when we have a law where we have a bisexual bathroom, meaning all gender bathroom, it just encourages pedophilia to go in there and molest more children because they can be in there with your children while they're in that bathroom. And it doesn't matter what sex they are either. So, it just really disturbs me. And, that's why I think there should be always still girls' rooms and boys' rooms. That's the reason why we have them. If it was meant for us to have them to be that way, like we're starting to see more in law buildings and all, where they're making these bisexual bathrooms, I think it's really bad. We need to stand up and have courage and speak out against these atrocities. When people are going after our Second Amendment rights, taking away our guns, our freedom of speech, all these things, we need to have a backbone called courage. Spell it with me, boys and girls. That's Courage. Courage. Courage is what we really need. Where is it? We can get it through Jesus Christ. That's where courage ultimately comes from, abounds from, and flows from, just like love does. And if you understand about these things, why it's so wrong to do these things the way we're going, then you have all the more reason to have a thing called courage. Be encouraged to say something. Be encouraged to say no when everybody else is saying yes, yes, yes. Say no, no, no. Stand up for it, okay? That's what we need to do as Christian men and women and children of God. Say no. Because we don't need to go that way. We're repeating history. It's just like when we bring women to be preaching in the church. That's another thing we're going against. There's all kinds of these things going on, and it's wrong. And if it was meant to be that way, then why aren't all churches having women preachers and ministers, pastors? Because not all of them are doing that. Only some are. But there are a lot of them trying to push it. And that's why we as Christians need to stand up in the Church of Christ and say no, because that's not biblical. It's the same, with, taking prayer out of schools or taking true justice out of the courthouse. That's why we need to stand up and say, no, we need to bring it back. Put the Ten Commandments on the wall in places of court and law. Because that's what originally is where the law came from. So, that's what we have to get back to, And don't worry. A lot of you parents are scared. Your kids bring a Bible to school, can't pray in school. Actually, they can. They can still bring Bibles to school and pray. That's just a scare tactic. Believe me, it is. There are a lot of kids that bring Bibles to school that I know. They go to a lot of churches of Christ. I know they do. I used to bring a Bible to school with me every day. When I went to high school and middle school, I didn't care. And I prayed out loud in the hallway and in the classrooms before class started. It was calling me to pray. I still pray. I don't care. Because I stand for a God that's beyond this world. And He's the real God, the true and the only awesome God. And that's where courage comes from. We stand up and do these things in opposition to what everybody else is doing. That's where the real courage comes from. Just like when we speak and stand up and say, no, we don't want bisexual or transgender or all sex bathrooms in our schools. I don't know what you call them. That's why I say it in all these different ways. But, we don't want somebody in there watching our little girl or son going to the bathroom of the opposite sex. That's why we need to say no. Okay? This is so important, folks. You know, and, having gays, being married, and all that stuff. We need to say no for that, too, because that's a sin. It's wrong, it's morally wrong, and it's biblically wrong. That's why all these things we're talking about, why we talk about these things. Bring prayer back into schools. Bring, you see what will happen if we bring it back. People start praying. Oh my goodness, that would scare a lot of people, wouldn't it? But it's good because we need to be people of courage because we are Christians, and that's what Christians need to do. Grow a backbone, a spine, if you will, and stand up and do the right thing. This is Michael DeSilva from New Under Church of Christ. I love you all. I miss you all. And keep me in your prayers. I'll keep you in mind. All right? Take care. Till we meet again. Shalom.